Welcome to another episode of the In My House Techno Music Show. I'm your host, T.Carlita, and we are out the house. We're starting a new season, moving our way into year 6. And what better way to start off a new season, going into a new year, with somebody who gave me my start to do this show in the first place. So we're here, out the house. We're hanging out at the Hair Wars studio. I got my man HumpTheGrinder over here. How's it going?
Hey, everything is hairy, of course, from Hair Wars.
Well, we can see the wall of fame and everything around us, right?
This is the spot, the Hair Wars headquarters.
Hairy and colorful.
Yes, all the time.
All right, let's get down to business. This past summer, Hair Wars made some history. You want to shed some light on that history?
Well, the history that we made was being a part of the UniverSoul Circus.
Say it right.
UniverSoul Soul Circus. UniverSoul Circus.
Okay.
Anyway, we had a chance to perform a little Hair Wars skit inside the show, and it was an opportunity for Hair Wars and the hair entertainers to get in the tent under the big top and do their thing. It was cool.
So how did that happen? I mean, we just did the show last year, and now all of a sudden you were under the big top. How'd that happen?
Well, it was strange because Ricky Walker, Cedric Ricky Walker, he's the CEO and founder of the circus, UniverSoul Circus, a friend of mine from way back. And I was got in touch with him about some kids I wanted to bring to the circus. So this was right before they came to Detroit, and I wanted to bring a bunch of kids to the circus who couldn't afford tickets, and Ricky took care of me. And he said, hey, man, take the kids, and we got to talking. And he said, you know what? You ought to do the show. You know, it's coming to Detroit next week, and we can find a spot for you. So we put together some hair entertainers. If you want to know who they are, we invited.
I'm supposed to ask,
Oh, you supposed to ask me that question?
No, go ahead.
All right. Well, some of the
Who were they?
Well, of course, fantasy hairstyles. You know, the ones that had something to really show to make the crowd go, woo. Those are people like Keith Matthews. He was first. Okay. Teddy the Braid Artist. Donnell Danny Davis 3D. Califio Scissorhands. And that's 5.
You were the Invisible Man, too?
Well,
you!
Well, I was out there. I was doing the MC thing. You know, I was a commentator.
You were pretty sharp, too. I want to say that.
Thank you. I had a circus outfit, so I figured I'd slip it on and do the thing. And the good part about this was we wasn't the pre-show, because they have a lot of pre-shows around the country. When the circus comes in town, they have people kind of opening up the circus. We were actually inside the show, and that was kind of a thrill because, you know, the bulk of the crowd is there. And they didn't know anything about a hair show was coming. All of a sudden, right before intermission, we pop up with a hair show. And we had good response. We had a good time. I mean, it made us feel good because what we do, it kind of fits into that realm. You know, like circus acts. And these were circus characters, the hair characters, the circus characters.
So when you got the connection to do the show, how did you get your cast of characters? What was the thought in who? Because you deal with hundreds of stylists all the time. So how'd you pick the characters?
I picked them because I was trying to get the most active, the ones who participated in Hair Wars and some of the veterans. I had a young guy, he pulled out. He backed out for some reason. But I had a couple other people who couldn't do it, but it was so many to pull from. You know, we have a big pool of hair characters, and we got the right ones because, you know, stuff they had was really made for it. It was big, had motors and lights, and it was real. It was fitting. It was a good fit. You know, everybody helped each other out, and we got in there and did our thing. And, you know, I had the chance to do the music. They told me, because I didn't know if we had to go off of their music or, you know, they said, no, you make the soundtrack. So I made the soundtrack. I tried to take them on a roller coaster ride, you know, and we opened it up with, well, actually the intro was Felix and Jarvis, Flamethrower Rap, Jay Giles Band, original song. Are you ready to go down? Kind of came from the scene. Yes, we are.
Are you ready to throw down? Yes, we are.
And then
Yeah, Nat Morris was there too, right?
Nat Morris was filming. He was my video guy, and you were the photographer, and y'all captured everything because we need to document stuff like that. So when Felix and Jarvis came on, yes, we are ready to throw down and everything. So I started with some UR. Wanted to give them Detroit flavor to kick it off, some techno, and In the Swamp Thing. We broke out with that with Keith Matthews, and then we took him to let me see, the next one.
Let's just play the soundtrack. How about that? Can we just
play the soundtrack?
let me just play the soundtrack?
I gotta explain to you why the soundtrack was like it was, because everything was a roller coaster ride. See, you took it from there, and then we went down to Jail and Weave. It really wasn't a mixtape, but this part was mixed. Jail and Weave, and Your Mouth Blew Out. DJ Assault, another Detroit. So, and then we broke it down and got funky with Teddy the Bird Artist with the Atomic Dog, instrumental. And then we took it back up with the Planet Rock. And then we brought it back down to some funk. Cleve Fiel came out with NWA, Chin Check. And then we brought it back up for the finale with Keep On Pushing. Keep Pushing On by Boris. That foreign dude. Yeah, so it was cool.
So we're going to show some highlights, some pictures, and then we're going to come right back and we're going to talk about what's next for Hero Wars. Is that okay?
Sure.
You are in my house, hosted by T.Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played.
Are you ready to throw down? Yes, we are.
Hit it.
Jail and weave, jail and weave. Jail and weave, jail and weave, jail and weave, jail and weave. Jail and weave, jail and weave, jail and weave, jail and weave, weave, weave.
What is this? A text message from the Wayne County Treasurer's Office about my payment plan?
That's right. Our Project Text Message program allows you to enroll in our free text messaging service. All you have to do is provide your cell phone number. I'm here today with one of our customer service representatives, Karim Howe. She will explain how it works.
Our customer service team will send friendly reminders and text alert updates about your current payment plan. Everyone gets busy. We want to help you stay on track with your tax payments to avoid foreclosure. Call 313-224-5990 to enroll in our voluntary program. You will receive reminders on tax payment due dates and other important valuable information.
Join Project Text Message today by calling 313-224-5990 or email our office at textinfo@waynecounty.com. Stay in touch. Stay connected.
All right. So we're back. Great soundtrack. A lot of energy there, man.
Well, it's a circus.
Of course.
And it's Hair Wars. Hair Wars got music is really a big part of Hair Wars anyway. I mean, because everybody makes soundtracks.
I wonder why. Would that have to be because you've been a DJ for how long now?
Well, not just me. I mean, I've done tracks, but it's been so many DJs.
No, you are a DJ.
I know, but other DJs do tracks too, and that's what makes it cool because everybody has their own style. DJ Fingers makes tracks, Gary Chandler, DJ Snake, DJ Surgeon, Trump Tide. There's so many DJs that made tracks for the Hair Wars performers, and that's what makes it really cool because a lot of Detroit people use Detroit music, and we go all over the country, so we got a certain sound about our show.
So most of the time, Hair Wars, you never see the same thing twice. But the next show, you're revisiting something again. You recycling it, but you're putting another twist to it, right?
Well, it'll be 10 years since we did something with the cars. Wow. It's called Hair, Stars, and Hot Cars. 10 years, 2010. It'll be 10 years in 2020 when we do the show on May 17th in Dearborn at the Ford Community and Performing Arts Center. They got a big parking lot. And, weather permitting, we're going to have a lot of cars out there because we're honoring a lot of the drag racing legends in Detroit, some old school guys. It's underground like Hair Wars and techno music. It's a Detroit underground thing. And we pulling together the hair capital and the automobile capital together. And we're going to honor some of the guys who've been doing street racing and racetrack racing from the White Castle days in Illinois and Warren. And I used to be in them days too. That was part of my life for some years. 69 Chevelle, 67 Camaro. The Camaro looked fast, but it wasn't. A show car, but the Chevelle was the moneymaker.
Now, which one was the Hump Man?
That was the Camaro, 67 Camaro. The Hump Man was kind of known around the neighborhood, parts of the city. But yeah, I had that in my blood all the time since high school. I'm going down to the castle, going to the track. It was called Detroit Dragway back in the day, Wyandotte, Sibley and Dix. And we used to race all the time. But when I started DJing, it was the same time. It was either DJ or race. DJing, I could make money. Racing, I was spending money. I could make some, off the bets. But basically, it was a very expensive hobby. But I liked it. My brother got into it. Two of my nephews got into it, and they're still racing.
So let's set the stage. May 17th, 2020. What can people expect?
They expect some car hairdo, that's for sure. It's going to be car music, car themes with props, fashion, 250 plus models. And everybody's going to include something about cars, a little tribute to cars, because, it's going to be before the auto show, which is moving to June. And we're going to be like 3 weeks before the auto show. And we want people to come in, some of the media, European media who comes early to cover stuff. We want to let them know about the black people in Detroit and the history and the rich culture we have with cars. I mean, they know a little bit about the hair over in Europe, but they might not know about this car thing that's going on for a long time. And these dudes are bad professionals.
So I know I've seen car shows. I mean, the Dream Cruise and the White Castles is really one that's amazing. But what's the feedback that you're getting from the guys? Because, they love to show their cars off. So now you're giving them another place to show their cars off. So what kind of feedback are you getting from the guys?
Excellent. I mean, they fired up because, see, these dudes, they don't get recognition. So when somebody wants to honor them, they're like, honor me? Yeah, you. And we got 6 individuals, 3 different car clubs, even though it's a lot more. But with the help of my brother, Paul Humphreys, Dr.
What's up, Dr. PhD?
He organized the White Castle reunions for years. So he's well known, in the circuit. So he kind of helped select the ones who deserve to be honored. So they all excited. You know, one of them told me we had a car show in May next year, but we're not going to that show, to that race. We're going to hang out with y'all because they know that they're going to get exposure and hopefully some media coverage because they need to be known, you know, and we're going to do our part. You know, we're like a media machine. You know, we try to promote people who need to be promoted. And these car people are going to get promoted. And the machines they got is something else. I went to the car show yesterday, and the guy says, see all these cars? This is my club. Everybody's coming down. So we got to make sure we got enough spots to keep everybody pretty much together. And it's going to be a show.
Wow. You think it has something to do with the girls, too, though?
A lot to do with the girls. Because 10 years ago, when we had the cars out there in Troy at the Met Hotel, we had the ladies were lined up to shoot pictures. And the car owners loved it because they had so much attention to their cars and all the pretty girls. All over their cars, and so that was cool, and we documented everything. So they fired up.
You know that picture that's on the screen right now? That was me. I was a little bit skinnier. My daughter's real skinny on there too.
With the red vet, Felix Sawyer's car. That was a big hit. Okay. The red vet, they had everything popping out of it. You know, television. He had a video screen, boombox, and it was different. It was. And so you're gonna be seeing a lot of those kind of cars and more at this show on May 17th.
All right, so we're going to step away for a minute, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about the importance of underground, promotion, branding, marketing, and I think one of your semi-pet peeves, free parties.
Free parties, yeah, well.
Save it.
Let's go to commercial.
All right.
And we'll be back.
Oh, you want to do it for me?
We'll be back within my house after these commercial messages.
Yay! This portion of the In My House Techno Music Show is brought to you by Miko Events and Designs, specializing in events of all occasions and floral designs for your many needs, weddings, funerals, birthdays. Let Miko design and let your room come to life through Miko's Events and Designs. That's Miko Events and Designs. Find her on Facebook, follow her on Instagram. To get in touch with Miko, she can be reached 586-222-9752. That's 586-222-9752. Or email mikoeventsdesigns@yahoo.com. Miko Events Designs. Thank you so much for being a proud supporter of the In My House Techno Music Show.
Welcome, Judge Mathis. Thanks for coming to share an important message with the Wayne County taxpayers.
Well, thank you for allowing me to help. You know, most of my life I was a resident of Wayne County, and so I'm here to help because Treasurer Shabri wants to work with Wayne County homeowners to keep families in their homes and prevent foreclosure.
If you're having trouble making your property tax payments, let us know. We have many resources to help.
Take the first step towards staying in your home by going down to the Wayne County Treasurer's office on the 5th floor of the International Building in Greektown.
Stop by today to learn more about our payment plans and especially the newly extended interest rate reduction program.
Already in the payment plan? It's important you stay in good standing.
Making property tax payments is now easier than ever. We have placed payment kiosks in Rite Aid stores and community centers across the county. We've also added kiosks in our offices. Contact us at 313-224-5990 or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com.
You are In My House, hosted by T.Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played. All right, you took us away, so now you can.
Okay, we're back. We're in my house, and we're out of the house. We're in Hayward's house right now.
That's good. So listen, I know people ask you all the time, Hump, do you still DJ?
Sometimes I do. I mean,
sometimes you don't, right?
Well, you know, when somebody wants to spend the right amount of money, sometimes they offer me some money. Usually the Europeans, they see me on YouTube on the scene, and they ask me, do I still play? And I'm like, yeah. You know, so I do sets, but I do a lot of parties still. I've been doing it for years on tape, you know, pre-recorded parties. If you have a good sound system and you tell me what kind of music you want, I'll give you a party. And, you know, do shout outs. Some people want to shout out all their friends, and I got to know a little bit about the place that the party's at, so I can throw some stuff in there like I'm really there. You know, so DJ friends might tell me I'm cheating when I do parties on tape or flash drive CDs, but that's not cheating because I can do 5 parties in 5 different cities on the same night and get paid, you know, because I don't have to be there. You got my stuff, have a sound system, kick it in, and let the people party.
So when you do these pre-recorded mixes, does it ever, do you ever have a concern of somebody playing your mixes? Because I've heard people do that before.
A lot of people have done it, but I do my drops. Okay. ID drops. One tape that a lot of people jumped on was an old school party mix. It was like 9 songs with no vocals. I mean, no like me. I'm not talking, no female voice drop or anything. And everybody was using that tape because I was in San Diego, California, at a party that a DJ had one of my tapes, and he's sitting there. He invited me to the DJ booth, and I'm watching. He had a big crowd, and everybody was jamming. He's playing my damn tape. I'm like, oh.
Did you tell him you want parties pay at the end of the night?
No, well, he did like other people, but he just did it in front of me. You know, I was enjoying the people dancing, but that's not.
Did he know you were there?
I was in the DJ booth with him, so he was like, "Oh well," he's laughing, man. They jamming all your music, cause he said this is break time for me. He said I play it all the time. Oh. So I guess he uses the mixes of different places, so he doesn't play at the same place over and over. But I don't really mind. But I do have drops, so you might get a song or 2, and then it's gonna be a drop. So you don't go too long. I was looking at Facebook one night. And this girl, DJ, was playing my tapes at her party. And I'm listening to the mix. I know my mixes. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, damn, they stole my mix. She was on a CDJ. You can't really tell it wasn't wax, so, you know, I don't know. But I don't really mind. But now I got more drops. Protection.
So you are known as one of the best promoters in the business, for one thing. So what is happening with parties? You know, I remember this story you told in the Hair Wars documentary, how Cool C changed the game when he came in and started selling VHS tapes, or what was it back then? And he brought the money down.
Video tapes was selling like for $40, $50. He brought his down to $9.99. It might have been DVDs, the beginning of DVDs. But anyway, he kind of ruined the market because he messed up the pricing. And some of the people stuck with their price, but most of them didn't. They went down to $9.99 with them. And they just messed up the market because what they were selling for so cheap was like millions of dollars worth of knowledge to me, you know. So
do you equate that into this free party thing?
Well, yeah, I don't think you should be free party. I mean, myself, I've never played at a club where it was no admission unless it was like happy hour or something like that. But as far as nighttime, I mean, see, a club owner, I never got paid by a club. I had to pay myself. And I think that DJs who play for clubs that don't charge a cover charge, that's kind of dangerous because, you know, really you lose respect. People don't pay to see you. And then, you know, you got to depend on the bar or the club to make money to pay you. I think all DJs, well, every DJ can do it, but I think most of the DJs should get their own following. And that's where I had to do it because I would move my crowd to clubs. I could take a crowd and move them from this club, move them to another club. But you got to stay in touch with them. It's easy now because you got Facebook, Instagram. We didn't even have that back then. Had a mailing list and telephone numbers. But you can get your own clientele. You can pay yourself. Tell the club, you're not doing any business. Let me get that door. Or if it's the weekend and they want to help promote, maybe you can split the door. But there's money. That's how you get your money. It's not a cheap club owners because they don't like to pay. And I hate the free parties because you say free. And then people say, well, I don't need to pay to see you. You're always free. But then same club, somebody comes in from out of town, $20 to get in. Everybody's paying to get in. So I think locally, the people should respect Detroit artists. There's a lot of good DJs that can jam. And they should be paying to get in, at least $5. $5 or $10 or something to make people appreciate the skills of these DJs. You know, I feel bad for a lot of them because I know that the money ain't there, but they jamming. And I like to listen to them because they throwing down, you know, programming the music, mixing the music. Sometimes DJs play for themselves, but for the most part, I think DJs play for the crowd. And the crowd's jamming, and the crowd shouldn't mind paying to get in.
So let me ask you this question. I asked these to mostly everybody. Now, you've been interviewed more than I've even been born in the world. No, just kidding.
I'm still shy too.
Okay, just wondering. Is there anything that is like, gosh, I wish they would ask me that question, but they never do? Is there something that you've always wanted to talk about after all these years, and you never got a chance to address it? Now's your chance.
All right. What did you want to be when you were little? What did you want to be when you grew up?
Okay.
Air Force pilot. I don't think I ever told that story.
An Air Force pilot, really?
See, I'll tell you a little story real quick. If I was in school, in high school, 9th and 10th grade, I hated math. Okay. But I knew multiplication, division, subtract. I knew the basic. And I didn't care about all this trigonometry, algebra, geometry. So I would draw pictures of jets in math class, every class. So every now and then the teacher would say, Mr. Humphreys, would you come up here and show your jets with everybody? Because they knew I was drawing jets. And I would show them the F-16 fighter and all the options and things they had on these jets. And I got a D-, only because I showed up. Because I didn't care about math. But I'm pretty good. I'm still good at math, but I just didn't like the class. But, yeah, I always wanted to be a pilot. I used to look at planes flying over to the house on the way to the airport, Metro Airport. It was they would go over our house on the way there, and I would know the jets, what type of jet it was, by looking at it sitting on my porch. And I would track jets. So, yeah, I wouldn't be a pilot.
So do you think that was the inspirational future for the helicopter?
Probably was.
Did you draw a helicopter, you think?
Well, I drew a helicopter. I'm not a really good artist. Todd Dixon was the artist that actually put the first one on paper. But I would, it was motorized stuff in my head all the time. I just knew that if I wanted to be a Air Force pilot, you needed math. See, that was kind of ironic because I got something, I wanted to be in something, but math you had to be an expert in math to be a pilot. So I figured I'd wipe that out and just, do some other stuff.
So let's talk about some storytelling. Actually, before we do that, let's talk about the artwork of Todd Dixon. So he really tricks out the hair, like your turkey, your helicopter, and something else.
Well, he did a lot of pictures for me. Todd's a great artist. Alabama A&M, Bulldogs, Golden Bulldogs. I do his parties, too, on tape. I'm going to tell you a story about that first. Mm-hmm. Todd, I did his party, did all the shout-outs. He took it down to Alabama for his march. He's in the marching band. They have a party every year, and I do the music, and the shout-outs went off, and the DJ, somebody went to the DJ and said, hey, man, you ain't shout out my name. You missed me, man. He said, I don't have a microphone. He said, I just heard you. You did all the shout-outs. You did everybody's name but mine. He said, I don't have a mic. So he got busted. They realized that wasn't his music, but he was playing the tapes. Anyway, Todd Dixon was a good artist, and every year, for years, he would come up with a different helicopter, a different hairstyle. So it was like a new car. Next year a new model would come out. It'd be a whole different helicopter. Wow. And he was good at it. Mr. Little actually was the first one in 1991 that made it come to life. He said, I'm going to make a real hairdo out of this picture. We had it on the radio. We were playing around with it, and it got a lot of attention. And it's the #1 signature hairstyle for hair wear. You see right here in this picture. Mm-hmm. That was in the museum. Clevefield did the helicopter, yeah. So it's been all kind of versions. We had the helicopter. Oprah Winfrey show call. That was the highlight of the helicopter to me. Front page of the Wall Street Journal. That's another big one. But the helicopter's moving. And Pee Wee Herman started. Put in his movie.
I know, I saw that.
I'm like, he looked just like one of the ones we made. I mean, he flew. Yeah, got up there, took the guy's toupee off his head. Yeah, no Pee Wee. They didn't even contact us about it. Gave us no credit for it.
But everybody already knew.
Everybody knew. You can Google it. You can see the history of the helicopter.
Well, you're going to continue to make history, and I know that the next show is going to be, as they say, epic. We don't even say epic. It's just going to be a show, right?
That's right, going to be the shit.
Okay. Shiznit.
Yeah, it's going to be that kind of show. And you know what? For people who come in town from, to go to the movement, it's a week before movement next year. So if you come early, you may want to come check us out because it's May 17th. It's on a Sunday, and we're going to get down. We're going to have a little after party afterwards, too. So if you get a chance, come and sit out the hot cars and the hair stars because they're going to be in the house, and we're going to have a good time.
So you heard it here first. All you international folks, I know y'all gonna be coming for movement, and a lot of you come a week early. So guess what? Now you got something else that you can do to add to your excitement before you actually go to work. Because a lot of y'all gonna be coming because you're working. But guess what? You get to have a little bit of fun before you go to work. And who knows? You might even get your face on one of them hot magazines and with one of them hot rides. How about that?
That's right, it'll be out there.
All right, Hump the Grinder. Anything you would like to say before we cut out?
Well, I'd like to thank you for doing the show, because you're doing a good service to around the world. Like over 70 countries tune into your show. And I think you're doing a real good service representing all these DJs and music producers. They need to be acknowledged, and keep on doing your thing.
Well, thank you very much. And before we get out, I forgot one more thing. We have to talk about the underground, the importance of the underground, and why it's significant, and what difference does it really make than mainstream corporate. What is it?
It's not diluted. It's not watered down. It's real. That's why I like to stay underground. You know, it's hard to get sponsors because you're not mainstream, but we do what we can do with that. But sometimes it's best to stay underground because, you know, it's authentic. It's real. It doesn't change, and it's steadily growing, you know. And sometimes people don't recognize the underground as being that strong, but woo, it's powerful. You don't need to be on TV or radio. It's a network within. So everybody's got their own circuit. And the underground is very powerful. I love it.
Yes, it is. And I love it too. All right, this is T.Carlita. It is time for me to get out of his way because y'all know this guy right here, trust me, he's been planning this show. I bet you probably got that checklist already halfway done, don't you?
No, not hardly. It's about 135 things on that list. So no, heck no.
Wait a minute, 100 and what?
It's about 135 that I have on paper. It's more than that. It's a lot of things to do. I'm a one-man band till the show weekend for the most part, so it gets done.
Is that why there's not as many hair shows as it used to be?
Well, no, I'm getting older, and, you know, traveling. We did 10 shows a year for 15 years. We were traveling every month almost, and now with the internet show, Hair Wars Around the World, the underground show, it's a chance to reach people all over the world without going out there traveling all the time. Because traveling was cool. We built our base on traveling. But now with the internet, you don't have to move around as much. You can keep your butt at home and then go where you want to go, but not a demand like it was before. So we had to kind of plant our seeds and let the internet take over from there.
That's right. All right. This is T.Carlita. Hump the Grinder. I'm about to get out your way so you can get to work because I already know you got a lot to do. All right. This is T.Carlita, 40 in My House Techno Music Show. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. And this season around, we're going to get out the house a little bit more. So who knows whose crib we going to show up at next. So DJs, producers, hey, I'm coming knocking. Just open it up and keep them wheels spinning. This is T.Carlita. See you next time.
Like
You are in my house, hosted by T.Carlita, where the true stories are told and great music is played.
Of our freedom, love is the key for you and me. Your past behind. These are my people. Like to see you and me. How I
In My House, hosted by T.Carlita, where the true stories are told